Good morning everyone and welcome to a new Tenerife and Canary Islands news update. If you are new to the channel, I am Andrew. I live here in Tenerife. I'm just in Los Cristianos at the moment, and I've got some excellent news to bring you that was finally confirmed yesterday. I'm going to run through everything now. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. As I said, a big welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. Let's jump straight into it. So I have got a fantastic little article to read to you here as regards to restrictions in the Canary Islands, here in Tenerife, Gran Canaria, etc. We are going to see a lot of these restrictions lifted, which has now been confirmed. Since the announcement regarding the fact that local restrictions will be scrapped in the Canary Islands, there's been a lot of confusion in regards to which measures are to be scrapped and which measures will stay in place. I did do that little update a couple of days ago now to confirm that this was on the way. It has now been confirmed as of yesterday. It was officially confirmed that the local restrictions in the Canary Islands will be scrapped, and this decision will go into effect from Saturday the 26th of March. Now, what does this mean exactly? At the moment, there are two sets of measures and restrictions in place. There are national measures established by the central government in Madrid, which are valid for the entire of Spain, including the Canary Islands. And they're also local measures. These are the local restrictions that have now been lifted. They're established by the local Canary Islands government, which are valid only in the Canary Islands. So there is two completely different sets there. We've got the Canary Islands ones have been lifted now. The restrictions eliminated from Saturday onwards are the ones set by the local Canarian government, not the Spanish ones. So two sets, two different things. So the national measures that will remain in place until they are scrapped at national level are mask wearing indoors. The masks have not gone anywhere yet. They remain in place and remain mandatory indoors, in taxis, on your public buses, etc. The other thing that's remained in place, of course, is completing the passenger locator form. I will leave the link to that in the description. If you're coming over to the Canaries or Spain, you do have to fill in that travel form. The link to that is in the description. It's free, but you must still fill it in. The other thing that has not changed, and again is national level, are the entry requirements to Spain in regards to vaccinations, tests, recovery forms. All of those are established by the central government. You can get all that information on the UK government website, which I'll leave the link to again in the description. At the moment, if you're travelling from the UK, you do have to be fully vaccinated if you're travelling on a British passport. I do believe there is a little bit of a loophole there, and people are travelling over on an EU passport. For example, an Irish passport would get you in without those restrictions, is what I've heard. So those remain the same. There is no changes on masks, no changes on if you're vaccinated, etc. They are national level. We cannot do anything about them, unfortunately. Even if the Canary Islands wanted to, we can't. Now, the local rules that will be eliminated from Saturday the 26th, they are general capacity. It comes back to 100% indoors and outdoors. 100% capacity for cultural activity, both in open spaces and closed spaces. Here's the big one that everyone wanted. Dancing, parties, festivals and popular festivities will be permitted once again in the Canary Islands. And after the end of the restrictions, you can finally now have a bit of a dance in the bars, etc. when you go out. I've been out to the Soul Suites lately. Everyone was dying for a dance, and now you finally can do. That was the main one everyone was hoping for. There is no more limit on the number of people that you can meet in a group together. No more closing hours set for establishments, so bars, restaurants can stay open as long as they want, providing obviously they've got a license too. But they've been open till about 4 AM anyway. I don't really see too much of a difference with the others. The main one everyone wanted is the dancing. You can now have a bit of a boogie when you come on holiday. Now, these measures are only suspended temporarily from Saturday the 26th until the 30th of April. And the suspension is subject to change on any of the islands in the archipelago in case the data indicates a little bit of an increase, a little bit of a spike, a change in the epidemiology situation. They can easily put them back on. But it's going to be a fantastic test. I do note they've taken it off for Semana Santa week, which is Easter week over here. Very popular event. They were talking yesterday, which I completely agreed with. Some of the events that have been approved for Easter already include dancing, so it was pretty clear what was on the way, that dancing would be listed. These events had already been signed off, sealed, stamped, got approval, and they did include dancing in a couple of weeks in these Easter events. So we could see dancing was going to be lifted a little bit before time there. Now, the changes in alert levels, starting on next Monday, 5 alert levels are established, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And based on the indicators of the healthcare services, the alert level will be determined by the indicator of that block that has the highest level of risk. Now, I believe they are measuring these levels by the pressures on the hospitals now, not by case numbers. So there might be a slight little change there as well. As everyone's asking now, have the masks gone, etc.? Not yet. There will be a review on that coming soon. I believe it is on the 31st of March. There will be a review because I believe that's when the current restrictions that they've had in place need to be reviewed. They're either going to end or continue them on. I do believe and hope that on the 31st of March we will see an end to that, I think, because as I was saying, it was on the radio yesterday, they were talking about how if they extend it again, it could seriously affect the voting next year for the government. There's a lot of pressure on them to lift the masks now. If they keep doing it, keeping it in place, he's getting a lot of stick for it. So I think 31st of March we could see some positive news, but again, we don't quite know yet. I will let you know as soon as we do. But at the moment, no changes with that, no news, no nothing on that one, unfortunately. So that is the basics run through for the changes that have come in. Absolutely fantastic. Get your dancing shoes on. I'm going to run through some other bits of Canary Island news now as well. All some very positive things. The Canary Islands has the biggest increase in flight seats for summer in all of Spain, which is fantastic. Remember, Spain has great weather in the summer. A lot of people do head to Spain rather than the Canaries. Canary Islands, I'd say, is more popular in the winter. Still very popular in the summer, but I'd say we get more in the winter, but these are fantastic numbers. Canary Islands airports are top of the list for the increase in number of air passengers scheduled for summer 2022 compared to 2019 in the whole of Spain, with an increase of 9% according to the airports. So absolutely fantastic. I can see I've got a lot of reservations for the car hire for July and August already. If you are coming over, expect it to be busy, make plenty of reservations for things. It's the first summer we've had without any heavy restrictions and things. Hopefully by then we could be fully clear by then, no masks or anything, which would be great. That ties in with the next article. The Canary Islands hope to recover 90% of pre-COVID tourism in 2022. The president of the Canary Islands said during his speech yesterday that the islands are aiming to recover 90% of the tourism that we had before the pandemic. So basically back up to normal level, full level. It feels like that at the moment. It's very busy out and about. It really is. Even the bars, restaurants. I've noticed the restaurants are getting fuller and fuller even earlier now, which is fantastic. Now I'm going to run through as well some of the COVID figures. 5,426 new cases and 6 new deaths since Friday. Now remember, we only get an update on a Friday and a Tuesday now. It's not a daily update. The Ministry of Health has updated the COVID data in the Canary Islands today. This was as of yesterday, Tuesday, confirming that 5,426 new cases of coronavirus since Friday. This takes the total number of cases in the islands to 333,329 since the pandemic began. Specifically, Gran Canaria has 2,996 new cases, Tenerife 1,558, La Palma 327, Fuerteventura 226, Lanzarote 192, La Gomera 103 and El Hierro 24. They probably do sound a little bit high, but that is over a few days, so it's actually very low. As they have said many times, the hospitals are under no pressure at all. In terms of active cases per island, Tenerife is the highest with 6,241. That's down by 1,982. Fantastic. Gran Canaria, 5,948. That's up by 780. La Palma, 754. Fuerteventura, 336. La Gomera, 274. Lanzarote, 219. And El Hierro, 29. So very positive numbers there. Hospitals are pretty clear. And that is over a few days. So it's all very positive news coming out. We will keep an eye on the masks. That will be reviewed. I do think maybe they could lift that in time for Easter, 31st of March. It'd be a big decision. It's going to be a big decision. As I said, it could really affect the voting. So big decision on the way, but a great little test for them to lift these restrictions here. If it does go wrong, it is only temporary, but I don't think it will. We're going to see some of these Easter festivities, parties. There's a lovely procession that goes through Adeki Old Town. There's a lot of things go on. They all get dressed up, dance. It's fantastic. So really great news. Let me know your thoughts. Are you a dancer anyway? Me? Not so much. If I've had a few drinks, I will. But I know Laura and her mum and dad would have absolutely loved to the other night. So fantastic. I think once this does come into place, we will go and do a YouTube live in one of these bars and show a bit of dancing. I noticed some of the bars I follow on Facebook posted all the great news last night, little dancing emojis and everything. For the bars, it just creates that atmosphere again. It's fantastic for them. They've been restricted probably the most out of everyone. Restaurants can sort of operate as normal. If they have the entertainment on, it's normal, but it was the bars and those little sort of nightclubs that were struggling without being able to dance. And very hard for them to, tell people who've had a few drinks you can't dance. You sound like a bit of a fun killer. So that is it from me. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. I will bring all the news when it does come through. Any changes, I will let you know. Of course, this does constantly update, so do keep an eye on the news. I will leave the articles in the description. Any major news, I will film a new update for you. I'm back out on my new tripod again. Lovely view of Los Cristianos behind me. It's a beautiful morning. It's going to be a nice day, very clear out and about. So lovely. I'm off for a coffee now. I've got a business to run. I've got to go and get to work. So don't forget, if you are interested in car rental, that is what I do here. The website will be in the description for that if you do want a quote or any information about cars. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic day. Put your dancing shoes on, get practicing in the living room, and stride on.